Welcome to A Healthy Cleveland. I'm Dana Clark. Hope you enjoy the show. Tonight, we have a very special guest, but first, a couple of quick announcements. Cleveland, I must turn you on to a living legend. All right, the video I'm about to show you is a man who, in this video, I think he's about 65 years old. He was born in 1942. He looks amazingly young, and you're about to find out why. Just to give you a little couple of prerequisites, Gabriel Cousens is an American physician, homeopath, and spiritual writer who practices holistic medicine and advocates live foods therapy, a nutritional regimen which he says can cure diabetes, depression, and other chronic degenerative diseases. If you have not heard of this guy before, Cleveland, check it out. I'm going to go to a video, and we'll be right back and introduce our guest.
The main cause of death from disease among children under 15 is cancer. Children start out with 200, on the average, 200 toxins in their blood, right? Okay, now let's do a little math. Well, toxins create pesticides, herbicides are carcinogens, you know? Mm-hmm. Of the 200, 180 are carcinogens. Now, most kids, by the time they're 1 or 2 years, are past the lethal limit for the carcinogens in their system from the pesticides and herbicides. Okay, we'll go a step further. If you feed your kids organic food, they will have 1/4 to 1/6 amount of pesticides and herbicides in their blood. That means you're minimizing the carcinogen exposure. You can't consider what you get in a supermarket fresh. Just being organic means you're not putting in the carcinogens that can be stimulating these things. Mm-hmm. So that has a very high priority. Because in children, their bodies are really small, so the same amount of pesticides and herbicides coming in really is worse. That's a really concern. So if we're going to consider you're going to take carcinogens and you have 6 times higher level of pesticides and herbicides in your body, and basically there's really no fresh food unless you're growing it your own, I just assume go with organic that is maybe, you know, not fresh versus commercial that's not fresh. Mm-hmm. If you can get, you know, fresh, daily delivered commercial, meaning, you know, in farmer's market, I would still go with organic because, again, what's your biggest danger? Well, it's not as fresh. It doesn't have as many nutrients because the nutrients get lost. All that's true. But it doesn't have pesticides and herbicides, which definitely increase the rate of cancer. That's how I look at it. Now, those are value judgments. And life isn't always straightforward. It's like, what are we going to choose? Well, this is fresh. I'm getting it delivered from the farmer today. Oh, that's good. It's going to have more nutrients. It's going to have more, you know, minerals. But it also has more pesticides and herbicides. Okay, that's your consideration.
Wow. Gabriel Cousens, folks, there's plenty to find out about this guy on the internet. You know, at 65 years old, looking as young as he looks, I suggest you check out more. You know, every week we have guests on the show talking about living healthy and what they do to be healthy. I hope you enjoyed Anna Haruvas last week. She runs the Good to Go Cafe. Fantastic lady, really had a good time. If you haven't seen the show, our past shows on the website, ahealthycleveland.com, are now all updated since May 24th. So check out the past shows if you've missed them. Hope you can join those. Next week, from the Cleveland Music Club, a good friend Mike Starcher is going to join us with musical guest Greg Harper. It ought to be a great show. Tonight, I would like to introduce Mr. Chris Tuma. Chris,
hey,
welcome to the show. How you doing?
Awesome. Glad to be here.
Hey, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and you know, specifically your new album release, Ultimate Reality. We'll talk more about that, your new disc here in just a little bit. I'm excited. And you know, Chris, you've been a musician. You grew up kind of in a musician family, if I understand right.
Yeah.
And your dad's a musician.
Yeah, growing up, I never took any lessons, but there was always like plenty of instruments to play, piano, and my dad had like this set of bongos. Throughout the years, they just got so worn down. One day I was like playing with my Kenner Star Wars dolls, and I put Han Solo like right through the bongo, and he kind of got stuck in the middle of the bongo, and then I pulled him out, and then Chewbacca went diving through the hole, and then I realized, my poor father got these bongos in Jamaica on his honeymoon, and like, what a cool guy to like let us sit there and play with all his precious instruments. He still has like a 1957 Gibson, and
wow,
and it's all scratched up from the kids, and he brought it to a wedding last summer, and some young guy, about 19 years old, really interested in guitar. He actually was great. He performed at my friend's wedding, and he actually offered my father like few grand for the guitar, and my dad said just I would do it, but I just want to keep it. So.
Your dad must have been a busy guy.
Yeah.
7 brothers?
He and my mom were pretty busy, I'm sure. Yeah.
7 brothers. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, actually 6. I'm number 6 out of 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you said a few of your brothers are actually musicians as well, so it kind of carried on in the family.
Yeah, for sure. They all do a little bit of something. They're not all that great at it, but no. The ones I do want to mention are actively, Brian is in a metal band, and he's in a band called Rogue. They opened up for Chimera at their annual Christmas show at the House of Blues last year. That was a big honor for them.
Right on.
And they're doing another Rogue Fest, an annual little fest that they have. And this year, it's over at the old Beehive, I believe in Parma on State Road. I think it's City Tap House now.
Okay.
And I just learned of this today. And they'll be doing this in October, the 5th. And so those guys, D Mills and Jim and Jay and my brother Brian, they're really like trying, and they're doing a really good job. I'm proud of them.
Well, do all of you guys have good genes? Because it just struck me a second ago that wait, you're about the same age as I am, and I can't find a gray hair there.
Man, you got a lot of color, which is good, and I'm just trying to do the things that you talk about, week in, week out. Try to stay active on the bike and. Shop organic, as Gabriel just mentioned in the clip, prior to the show here.
Well, let's back up a little bit. You're a vegetarian.
Yeah,
right? Not vegan, so you don't eat any meat.
No, well, recently I kind of crossed over into the pescatarian after 10 years of being vegetarian. My blood type, my doctor suggested I, maybe dabble a little bit. So, once in a while I'll eat a little shrimp or some salmon, but, shellfish.
Okay.
But, just for a little protein.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, you went to out west for a stint for about 5 years.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the decade.
Yeah, Christina and I, hi, Christina. We went out west, ended up in Boulder, Colorado, and then made our way over to Tempe, Arizona, and those were just some great years of getting out into the mountains and discovering ourselels. And
right now, so right before that, you decided to be vegetarian. What made you jump into that?
We were going on just doing a lot of exercising, and we just kind of all we ate for a while was chicken, and it was again for the protein. And we're like, if we cut this out and, maybe some milk and some cheese and some eggs, we could be borderline vegans. We tried that for a little bit. And then we just decided that the common ground was, living a vegetarian diet. And, I kept feeling like really strong and lost a lot of weight and I still like, it opened so, on a culinary level, it opened so many doors, things that I wouldn't normally think of, that were just, all the plates, growing up were dominated by meat, and now then they became dominated by vegetables. And when friends come over, I'll give them a little meat, but, treat it as a side.
So did you do a lot of raw food when you weren't eating meat, or were you?
It eventually turned into a lot of raw food, just as a matter of preference, it just tasted better to us. And I've read a lot of articles, and even attended a brewmaster's dinner at Great Lakes where they were cooking with raw food, and on a culinary level, once again, it just opened so many doors. But it got to the point where snacking on raw food was just more pleasurable than throwing something in the microwave and destroying it. But sometimes you got to do that.
You mentioned the energy level, and I've also lost a lot of weight in the last couple of years.
Awesome. Good for you.
About 50 pounds, and I feel great. Definitely feel much better. So phasers to stun. Sorry. So, but one of the things that I just recently learned, my daughter is anemic, and slightly, and so it inspired me to basically, find out, okay, where can I get, the most iron, from the veggies that we're eating, from the things we're eating. I found out, from just doing a little bit of Google search and a little bit of research, soybeans are actually a good source of iron, which I thought was interesting. And have you ever heard of Swiss chard?
Swiss chard. I think my neighbor might know what that is.
Swiss chard. This is the one that I had no idea. It's a leafy vegetable. They call it an iron powerhouse. This was like 4th on the list. Check this out. 2 cups of Swiss chard is packed with 8 milligrams of iron. Chard leaves can be eaten raw on a salad, or ribs can be cooked or sautéed. In addition to good iron, it also provides 700% of your daily value of potassium, 100% of your required vitamin A, and 50% of your daily required vitamin C. I haven't tried this yet.
Superfood. How's it look?
I haven't tried it yet. I haven't even seen it in the grocery store. So I figured it looks green.
I've heard of it for sure.
Figured it looks green. So you want to take a guess what the, other than soybeans, the other top 2 would be?
It wouldn't be kale, would it?
You know what? I thought it would have been. I'm sure kale's in the top 10. It's got to be. Kale. I've been eating a lot of kale. We're going to do some kale tonight with our fruit smoothie.
I guess my other guess might be avocados.
Check this out. You ready? Well, spinach, right? Just like Popeye. And then and peas. All right. This one I was surprised. Peas are an incredible source of iron. Little Green Wonders have approximately 6 3/4 milligrams of iron in 2 cups. So your average serving of cooked peas is a half a cup, meaning that you'll benefit 2 to 4 milligrams of iron from this vegetable serving. Iron is essential, I guess, for your blood, for your energy. And if you're lacking iron, you'll know it because you'll get like some weakness in the legs, or your legs get a little bit shaky, or you can feel it in your muscles as well, muscle fatigue. So if you're ever feeling that, raise your iron levels, figure out what you got to eat there. Lots of good ways to find out. Were there any specific foods that you kind of leaned toward when you started becoming vegetarian?
Yeah, definitely. The soybeans, as you mentioned. Black beans and a lot of berries and stuff like that. My wife Christina, she's really into like cereal but once again, you can take a lot of these foods on a culinary level and just completely saturate them in olive oil or butter. Because it tastes good, and you season it, and and then you're kind of you're going a little bit in the other direction, but still, there was a little bit of being kind to animals, like kind of a little bit of that message in becoming a vegetarian as well. So for her, I think she was just eating a lot of stuff that she liked to eat, and she didn't really like meat as much, but for me, it was just kind of like, maybe a little bit of a sacrifice and giving up some fish. And even though, it provides, some decent protein, I kind of wanted to be a little kinder to animals and maybe, not in a zealous way, but, it's just something I kind of believe in. And I just don't believe in eating animals unless you hunt it. And
that's a very interesting point. Growing up, I listened to a lot of Beatles and was a Paul McCartney fan. And of course, him and Linda have a vegetarian cookbook. And from what I remember, their biggest reason was, because to be kind to animals, and they didn't want to kill animals. I think the story goes they were sitting at their farm one day and they were eating veal, and they looked out their window and they saw, the sheep out there.
It's like, yeah, I can't eat Bambi.
Right,
Yeah.
So, obviously the soybeans were a good source of protein for you. Was there any other good sources of protein that you guys discovered along the line?
Well, and I'm a big fan of nuts and just all that good stuff that comes with the holiday and another source of protein is the avocado and became a huge fan of guacamole. Again, these are awesome dishes that you can try to be a little healthy about it, but
Do you have a good guac recipe?
Yeah. Tablespoon of mayo, tablespoon of sour cream. You can do yogurt or supplement it with your vegan product, and 3 avocados, small avocados, dice a little tomato, dice a little bit of onion, and a little chili powder, and I kind of have a few secret ingredients. Every now and then, if I'm drinking a craft beer, I will dump like a teaspoon of it in there, and it gets them every time. Everyone just seems to love it when I bring it out to the party and
A little bit of the beer flavor in it, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of the beer flavor.
Interesting.
In it,
Well, I'm going to try that. That sounds like a great recipe. Timmy Askin, we have a mutual friend, Tim Askin, and the first time I ever made guac was actually with Timmy. And it was a little bit different recipe. I don't remember it exactly, but I know it wasn't anything like what you just said.
Cilantro is always decent.
Cilantro,
crush
yes.
that in there. Sometimes it's key.
Anna Haruvas was on the show last week from Good to Go Cafe.
Yeah.
I mentioned that, and she dumped this bag of cilantro in our smoothie, and I'd never had eaten that much. But she swears by it. She's like, "This is really, really great stuff." And
I'm a huge fan too, but I don't know what that does for your breath. But
well, the only thing that I had ever used cilantro for was salsa.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I ever knew that you
yeah,
could
for
put
sure,
it in.
salsa and burritos and.
Never even thought about putting it in a smoothie,
Yeah.
But I got to ask you this. I ask every guest, have you ever used a Vitamix?
Yeah.
All right, you have.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're going to use the Vitamix tonight. We're actually an affiliate of the Vitamix company who's right here in Olmsted Falls. They're now a worldwide organization, very well known. A machine comes with a 7-year warranty. It's an expensive machine. They're not cheap. I think you can get refurbished models now for about $350, but I think they run new from $450 to $500. But it is worth it. I tell you what, the first time I used it and enjoyed it, I was just blown away. Some good friends had turned me on to it, and I had to get one. Awesome. So I think you're gonna enjoy our smoothie tonight.
Cool, we're in for a treat.
So I need to know a little bit about this Ultimate Reality CD that you got. Is this a new band, or is this just you on the CD?
It's me and sure thing. On the back, there's actually
we'll get a close up on this a little bit later here.
A little comic of the people that performed on the album. Michael Kearns, who's a great Cleveland musician he was in the Imposters and currently with Shadow of Doubt, Tom Petty cover band, and Michael's done some touring with, in the past with Robin Stone, and he's just been all over all kinds of albums, and Steve Dubois played a little percussion and drums on it, and he is known for Walking with Edna, and he was in the Square Casanovas with Derek DePrater and his brother Jeff Dubois. And my wife sits in and does some vocals, and it's one of those discs that you screw around for 10 years and you write a bunch of songs and people really enjoy them because they're about cats or some guy taking a bunch of psychedelics and falling out and breaking the law and being on the run, and then you write another song about someone falling down the stairs, and seriously, these are all topics of some former songs, and then they're all like low fidelity, and then then you finally write something where everything feels right. It's about your life. You're just kind of in the moment, and everything just feels so right. And then I just like, I'm going to call it, it's very a pathological disc. It's about the pathologies of everyday situations, just being who I am. I'm just going to put it out there and just write about that for once. And that's what it's about.
So what instruments are on it? You mainly play guitar? Or you
play guitar, but I think of myself more as like a composer. Like I'm just kind of putting a bunch of different sounds together. I mean, my voice, my guitar, I just describe it as just kind of raw, and I don't think anything of it. I don't want to take a Bob Dylan approach, but I think music is something that when you play it in the moment, it's very meaningful, and you can change it. And as you know, at your tenor with Guitar Center, I mean, there's all kinds of technology and ways to embrace sound and make it sound better. But at the same time, take that and but also acknowledge that not everything has to be blown up. And I have a song. It's an instrumental 99. We play it live, and we get all kinds of feedback like, "Oh, that was awesome," But I preferred a version where it's just some hand drums, and we're playing like some very raw instruments. That maybe that's how it sounded if you were sitting around a campfire, and that's the very first thing you heard before it was distorted.
What software do you use for recording?
My guitarist Mike used Cubase, and then I dabbled a little bit in Pro Tools.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So are there synth sounds on it as well?
Yeah, there's all kinds of there's one song where we said we used everything but the kitchen sink, but yeah, we try to integrate a lot of synth sounds, and some of the former discs were like really avant-garde. We use like we'd use like Rollins and just kind of like maybe put something on a loop and or maybe a beatbox and just get a little bit of a drum beat going and just do some things that were off the wall that were kind of a little bit sloppy, but at the same time like let's keep it, and it's good enough, and let's throw it out there and see what people think.
Right on. And were you when you're writing this album and kind of using your experiences and transcending it into the music like you were talking about, when you say therapeutic, where are you coming from there exactly? Is it the trance? Are you using loops, or is it all?
That's part of it for sure. There's one stretch in Frogs, Felines, and Druid Friends. It's like the second disc I worked on about 10 years ago. There's one stretch of 3 songs. One's an instrumental, and one is called Topless Roads. And my friend Ted, he's playing violin, and we just kind of go into this like it's like 3 songs in a row that are just kind of transcendent, where you can get lost in the music, and it's almost in like a Pink Floyd type of way, but it's not all blown up. And to me, that's very therapeutic, where you can get lost in some sounds.
Love it.
Yeah. And then it's the whole part about, jamming with your friends and making music with, some folks and then some folks you get to know, and, some new friends, and you all have something in common. You're all doing something, together. It's a project. Sometimes there might be beer involved. Other times there might be stress involved. People management, getting everyone on the same page, having everyone just show up, and sometimes that's a task, but it's all worth it.
So you said you had some local jam nights.
Yeah. The latest one I did was at Great Lakes. They were experimenting, and they did one. I think it was their first open mic, and I saw the sign-up sheet, and there was that empty slot like right in the front. And I wanted to be the first person to go on and be the very first open mic artist to play Great Lakes, and then brag to my beer drinking friends. So maybe there was some like type of bragging rights involved. I don't know. That's the only reason I did it. So I went on first.
The open mic or the jam night scene has really exploded in Cleveland. Just on the west side alone, off the top of my head, I know there's at least 10. One just started this week. It's brand new, right in your neighborhood. The new Quaker Steak and Lube opened up.
I can't wait to go.
They're doing a jam night tonight, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
It's every Thursday night. Tonight's their first one. And we got some Guitar Center coupons that we give out to the jam nighters or
Nice.
people that come out, so you can actually come out, play, and get something for playing.
That's
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So hope to see you out there, and we can hang a little bit.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
I'm really looking forward to listening to the CD. Is there anywhere that our viewers or people that see this on YouTube can go to check it out yet?
Yeah, I have some free music up on reverbnation.com/acoustictuma.
Excellent.
You can definitely stream it, and I'll make them available for download. I'm also on MySpace. I don't know about the whole MySpace, format as far as downloading, but I've heard some complaints about it being slow and treacherous and viral. But if you want to take the risk, you can definitely download the songs from there or Reverb Nation.
Have you ever thought about putting anything on iTunes?
Yeah, for sure. It's an avenue I'm exploring currently.
It's actually very, very easy. I know I have a lot of musicians that watch the show, and if you want to get your music on iTunes, very, very inexpensive, very quick process through a website called TuneCore, TuneCore.com. And if you go there, it's $1 a song. So if you have a 10-song CD, that's $10 right there. You pay an annual storage fee, which is only about $49 a year, I think is what it is right now. But the best part, are you ready?
Yeah.
You get 70 cents per download per dollar. So
I had no idea it was that generous. Or
it really is. I've heard of other sites like CD
I would
Baby.
definitely do that. CD Baby's called. Yeah.
Pay 65 cents or something like that, and I may not be totally up to date on those numbers, but there's some great avenues now for local musicians that are playing out to get heard and get their music out there. A lot of people are giving away their music for free. Do you sell your CDs?
Yeah, it shows. I'll throw them up for sale there. But there's always that person that can't afford it. Just ask me. I'll give you free music. I have no problem with.
Well, I'm going to ask you. Is this one for me?
I brought it for you.
Oh,
I brought it for the show, man.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. See how I just snagged that?
Wait. There is a price tag.
We're gonna
I believe something about a smoothie or something.
We are gonna do it.
Okay, cool.
Delicious smoothie. You got it. So before we go to our break, I just want to ask you, when we come back, we're going to watch a video of a sold-out show that you did at the Symposium. But quickly, how did you get involved? This is a Rogue Fest as well.
This is Rogue Fest Part 2. We were asked to perform, being Brian's younger brother and knowing everyone in the band, and they're really good friends with my bandmates. Two different styles of music. One's metal. We're more on the indie rock kind of, avant-garde, art rock, whatever you want to call us. And you know what? A lot of their fans enjoyed it, and I was just really happy to play. It was just one of the best shows ever for sure, just because it was so personal.
And play into a sold-out crowd.
Yeah,
definitely a positive.
We sold it out, and there might have been a few people that had to leave in order for people to come in, so it's always a good problem to have.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear some of the live cuts from that show. And also, folks, if you can, go to the website on Reverb Nation just to make sure we got that. ReverbNation.com/Chris Tuma.
Acoustic Tuma.
Acoustic Tuma, forgive me.
There you go. It's all good.
ReverbNation.com/Acoustic Tuma, all one word.
All one word.
All right, and please check out some of the tunes on there, and Chris would certainly appreciate it. We're going to cut to about a 7-minute break for our sponsors. Thank you for joining a Healthy Cleveland tonight. We'll be back with more of Acoustic Tuma in just about 7 minutes. Thanks a lot for joining us.
User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com. It's been 6 years in the making. 6 years. Uncensored Net Noise's 6th anniversary bash. September 7th at the Foundry in Lakewood. Live on stage will be Morality Check, Kriya Diaz, Demons Within, and the show is hosted by comedian Josh Womack. and they're going to be broadcasting the show live. Tickets at the door are $5 for 21 and over and $8 for under 21. Uncensored Net Noises 6th Annual Birthday Bash, live at the Foundry in Lakewood. Brought to you by Cocaine Energy Supplement. All the dirt you need to know is at uncensorednetnoise.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at ReduxDirect.com. That's ReduxDirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Rise above the clutter, brand your identity, and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call Joe the Printer Guy! Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC. And you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
All right, we're back with a Healthy Cleveland. I'm Dana Clark. My guest, Chris Tuma from Acoustic Tuma. Chris, you got a show coming up, and Chris, out there, if you could switch us back to the video so I can show the folks at home this flyer. We got Tuesday, August 28th at 7:30. Chris Acoustic Tuma featuring Mike Kearns and Steve Dubois. You mentioned those guys earlier.
And Jeff Dubois sitting in on bass. That's Steve's brother.
All right. And you play primarily originals.
Primarily originals. We'll throw a few covers in there, you know, some older and new. And
What kind of covers?
you know, I think we might be doing Fab by George Harrison. We like to dabble with some Beatles and Stones every now and then. And I'm a big fan of Dylan and Bob Marley, and then you know, of course, I like some current bands like Wilco and the Flaming Lips and all kinds of stuff, other styles too.
And you consider these guys your influences?
Pretty much, yeah. I would have to mention Beck and Bowie as two major influences.
You know, I'm thinking back to when I was about 8. You know, a lot different than kids today. You know, my 10-year-old plays with an iPad and an iPhone, and they have all the little gadgets, you know, a lot of the times. And if I'd had something like that when I was a kid, I don't know what I could have been capable of. But, you know, I had a record player, and that was primarily at Beatles, Elvis. Did you have a record player when you were a kid?
Yeah. I remember just going into my brother's rooms and stealing the Doors and, you know, Billy Joel, Glass House, and Born to Run, and just a Kiss, and just admiring their makeup, and yeah, it was cool to grow up with older brothers that had pretty decent taste in music. And
right on. I have all the same stuff. Matter of fact, I still have a huge record collection. A good friend of mine, Mark Baker, just dumped all of his records on me, and he's like, "Hey, I'll give them to you for this much." And I was like, "Sold." No problem. And all of the stuff was like mint. I couldn't believe the condition of his, you know, 20, 30-year-old vinyl that this guy had. He just took care of his stuff.
Awesome.
You don't see that very often, you know. So now I'm kind of like reliving the past. So this is at your show that's coming up is at Mahal's 20. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Mayhall's 20 Lanes in
Mayhall's.
Lakewood on Madison. Right across the street from the Madison Branch Library. We're going to pop open the doors at 7:30, and we're going to do it New Orleans style. We're going to pop open the doors and play for all of Lakewood. And
Very cool.
So if, you know, walk on by and stop down and come on in and grab some food or a drink, and let's
enjoy the band.
Rock out, yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'll definitely try to make it. That's a Tuesday night. That's one of my free nights. So I will be there to support. You know, also, we talked about jam nights, folks. I've got to share this with you also. This is just basically a little blog. It's called Jam Night News, and Jam Night News, JNN Cleveland. If you check out, you know, Twitter, if you're on Twitter, we're always announcing new jam nights that are coming up. Sometimes you have different hosts at the jam nights that are promoted on there, but there's a lot of good resources for going out and playing music and enjoying. Of course, a lot of time it's always free, you know. So
yeah.
No cover to get into your show that's coming up.
No cover. If you want to donate, you know, we're always up for that, but no cover.
And is this kind of like a CD release party?
No, but you know, we had something a little earlier in the year, and for some reason, with the CD release parties, you know, I sell a bunch of CDs that night, and then, you know, for the rest of the year, I just oh, I did it, I did it, I'm great. I sold some CDs, and the rest of the year I don't focus on like selling and selling. But with this new iTunes idea, maybe CD baby, but come on out to the show anyway. We're gonna have fun.
Right
I'll bring
on.
some CDs. We'll have some CDs.
Right on. Excellent. Well, let's check out this video that we've got here. We're going to go to live at the symposium, I believe, right?
Yes.
This is the Rogue Fest video you mentioned earlier.
Rogue Fest 2.
Rogue Fest 2. That's right on. Live at the symposium. So, the show coming up, the CD out. You living a dream?
Halfway there, yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's like you mentioned earlier. I've been a basement musician, and I've been the same way for a long time. and probably played more to myself and on YouTube than I've ever played for fans out there. But lately, it seems like as the music scene, it's getting better in Cleveland. You know, I heard people diss it for so many years, and now being in the middle of it all and seeing so many good players out there and so much energy out there with music.
Exactly. When I lived out in Boulder, it seemed like there was only certain types of music that were accepted there. And there's a lot of big bluegrass and a lot of animated coffee shop acts. But, you know, from there, you know, we moved out to Phoenix, and unfortunately, a lot of the awesome clubs out there in early, 2002 to 2005 were, shut down just because of the establishment out there. There were some great places, Wong Longs and the Bash on Ash and all types of places that were just legendary. Kind of happened just to close down while I was out there. Sugar Daddies and I think the establishment had a lot to do with making these places, prolong and I don't know. So anyways, I always heard about great music scenes in other towns, college towns, and when I got back to Cleveland, I was just kind of like, I'm glad I'm back because there are so many cool musicians here. There are so many great places to go, so many places to play. But I think the scene is in the basement. It is in the garage. That I know because it's not just a testament to what I do, but it's a testament to like what everyone's doing. And you would know that, being connected with Guitar Center and there are some people playing in their basements that are better than some of the folks that are signed or that are on the radio. And the scene is just more than the east side and the west side and crossing that border and appealing to the masses. The scene is actually everything. It's a cosmos. It's
well, there's a lot of good folk and a lot of good blues, and then got a metal scene in Cleveland, and it almost seems like there's a little bit of a dip in the rock scene. I don't know if you've noticed at all, but there, you got the punk. You also have punk, a lot of punk music out there, and then you have a company in Cleveland. I know a lot of the punk bands are actually recording their albums on vinyl. There's been a few here recently. More and more people seem to be going back to the vinyl thing. Do you have you ever thought about putting something on a record?
That'd be cool. That'd be killer. It's something that's just in terms of a look. It's pretty awesome. It's cool to be retro.
Yeah. So here it is. I just got tossed this. Gotta Groove Records. If you can check this out on the Zoom in, this is the place to go. I really haven't done any personal shameless promotion here, but I went to these folks personally. I had my records pressed at Gotta Groove. An incredible experience. You go into the factory, you can tour the factory. They are pressing records, man. And the way the boxes of albums that are coming out of that place, you would think that it never went away.
It's seriously, yeah. I don't know how many factories there are like throughout the U.S. or in U.S. cities, but there certainly is one here. And vinyl, I mean, it's coming back. It's crisp and it's got its own unique sound. And sometimes, like going back to some of my points earlier, if it's too polished, maybe we should take a step back to our roots and. So
back to the roots.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I've got one more video I want to share with the folks that are watching today, and then we're going to come back and do a delicious veggie fruit smoothie.
Sweet.
I always kind of change up the recipe a little bit from week to week, or I get input, from the viewers saying, "Oh, try this," or "I just tried this," or "Check this out." So tonight we're going to implement something a little bit different than we haven't done here on the show. At least I don't think. Maybe we have. But anyway, one more video from Chris Acoustic Tuma. Check out his show on August 28 at Mayhall's Lanes in Lakewood. And for some energy rock and roll. Let's check it out.
Intended for anybody listening.
But really,
Is that what she said,
I'm just the opening act. We got 2 other lineups behind me. So. Good stuff. All brothers. 3 brothers. 3 brothers. That's 3 biological brothers, not just bros.
not that there's anything wrong with bros or
Almost makes me order WrestleMania.
Triplets? Yes. Can you do it, Bob? Are you serious?
Well, the last name is actually Triplett.
Oh.
My name is Triplett. I just wanted to jump in on the phone.
Oh, you're in on the phone already. Call everyone.
Bartender well.
Oh, don't forget to tip your local and professional bartender, and we got a little jar at the bar for us. It's my college fund that I never had in Europe.
There's 70 out there.
One, two.
And we're back. You've been listening to a little bit of Chris and his band Acoustic Tuma with his, they're called the 3 Brothers on stage there with his 2 brothers. You got another brother out in Arizona.
Yeah, that was actually Kid Az singing. Way to go, Kid Az. That was great, man. I know you're probably out there listening all the way in the desert.
Right on. And he does the same kind of genre of music out there.
Same kind of genre as me. A little bit more. He's a big fan of the garage bands like Weezer and Dashboard and the Shins and all kinds of stuff. And
right on. Excellent. Well, I've got to share this Vitamix with you. You know, if folks, if you're interested in trying out your own Vitamix, right on our website on healthycleveland.com, You can go to the website, get a risk-free 30-day trial on your own very new Vitamix. I tell you what, when you start living with it, you will not live without it. It's a daily occurrence at our house. Sometimes we use it 2-3 times a day, sometimes even more. Tonight, are you ready? I bought greens. Greens. Eat some raw greens, stay healthy. You heard Gabriel Cousins on there talking about the organic foods. I'm not using any organic food tonight, all right? And I think a lot of people out there, if you're gonna get organic and live organically, it's a little bit more of an investment. There's no doubt about it. You pay a little bit more for organic food. Not a whole lot. There's a lot of things you can buy that are organic that aren't that much more. But I like the greens. Great antioxidants in the greens and in the fruits. We're gonna do greens and strawberry. Pineapple, we're just gonna put it all in there. The apple, give it a nice little flavor. And we're going wild tonight. We also have a banana.
Those combinations.
This is our smorgasbord. All right, like some of the sounds you put on your CD. The smorgasbord of sounds. We're gonna do a little, we did this with Anna last week, and actually my dad was the first person that talked me into doing this, all right? But use a little bit of vanilla. He likes the flavor of the vanilla, so just a little teaspoon there is all that takes. Nice and simple. And we're gonna put a little bit of soy milk, organic soy milk in there.
Plain or vanilla?
Oh, this is plain. Actually, no, this is vanilla. You're right. I grabbed the vanilla tonight. So, man, we're going to have it's going to be like a milkshake. Nice. All right. And, a dash of cinnamon. All right. Let's do it. Everybody's drinking some tonight, folks. Are you ready? Here we go.
Try this at home.
Definitely. This is an essential tool.
Look out.
It really doesn't take very long at all. And then this is my secret ingredient, ice. Put a little bit of ice in there.
Very nice, very nice.
I like ice because it makes it like it really does make it like a milkshake. I really enjoy the milkshake.
Have you ever been out to Kelly Juice?
Where?
Kelly Juice in Strongsville?
Not yet.
I haven't, but it's one of my field trips. I have to get out there.
Why not? It's like a juice bar type of thing?
Yeah, it's in the mall. It's in South Park.
Very cool. I think we're ready. Did you know, Chris, that you can make hot soup right in this?
Sweet.
I'm gonna have to do that on the show one of these nights. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes, so maybe we could do it while we're on the break.
A cold January day.
Yeah, you know it. All right, break out some cups there for us. All right, folks, thank you once again, Chris. I can't thank you enough for joining me on the show tonight. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your music. Folks, don't forget, May Hall's August 28th. Come out and join the band. Join me. Maybe I'll bring the Vitamix and we can do some smoothies right there,
It'll give everyone energy.
No doubt. All right. You, my friend, are worthy of the Yellow Submarine.
Oh, the Yellow Submarine.
Yes, you get that.
Live.
All right. Little D, you want to hand one to Chris in there? Give one to Sherry. One for our intern.
Hooking up the staff.
Take care of you. Enjoy that. Folks, it's another show of a Healthy Cleveland under our belts. Thanks again, Chris Tuma. Please check out reverbnation.com/acoustic-tuma. Acoustic, T-U-M-A. How's it taste?
It's awesome.
Oh, it is. All right. Cleveland, be healthy. Have a great night.